is the warm-up for a question for today. Try and work this question out. If you cannot work this question out, it's fine. If you know how to work this question out, work it out in Unit 1. The top document says warm-up on OneNote. In this question, you were supposed to name a line in two different ways, and you were supposed to identify a point which was not on the line. Identifying a point was easy. It is point E, which is not on the line, so you could say point E. Now, to name a line, you can use the word line and any combination of two uppercase letters which are on the line, C, D, or you can use the uppercase letter C, D with a symbol on it. If you don't know how to do that, that's okay. This is what we're going to work on today. So follow along. Today we'll focus on point, line, plane, intersecting lines and planes. We'll talk about how to name a point, how to name a line, and how to name a plane, and some other things about each one of those. This video is a great reference for a points, line, and planes in case if you are still confused after this lesson today, you can refer to that video and it will help clarify a few things for you. So let's talk about point first. A point is a location. It has no shape or size. The point does not have a width or a depth or a length. That's why it does not have the shape or a size. Let's look at the point which is given on the left-hand side, point A. Whenever we refer to a point or name a point, we always use an uppercase letter or a capital letter. So if I was to refer this point, I will say A, uppercase, or I can say the word point and then uppercase A. Both these methods are correct. You can either use a single uppercase letter or you can use the word point and then the uppercase letter. Now let's talk about line. A line is made up of points. Any 2 points will form a line. A line has no thickness or width. And you can name a line in 4 different ways. You can use the uppercase letters given on the line to name a line, or you can use the lowercase letter given on the side of the line to name a line. Now let's look at different ways of naming a line. You can use the word line and the 2 uppercase letters for the points that are given on the line, or you can use the uppercase letters and the symbol of the line. This is the symbol of the line. Whenever you see this symbol, you're going to read line. The third way of writing the line name is use the word line and the lowercase letter. And the last way is the lowercase letter and the symbol line. There are 2 different types of points when we talk about line. One is collinear and the other one is non-collinear. These are the relationships between the points on a line. Collinear basically means that all points lie on the same line. So let's look at a blue line. Point A, point B, and point C. Since they all are on the same line, they're collinear. Now, non-collinear means that they are not on the same line. So let's look at a line. This blue line, there's point A and this is point B. There's another point, point C, which does not lie on the blue line. So point C is non-collinear to A and B. Now let's talk about plane. A plane is a flat surface that is made up of points. For example, a paper or the floor. These are all planes. They are made up of points, but you necessarily don't see the points. There are so many infinite points on it. The smallest plane can be made up of 3 points, which is a triangle. The 3 vertices make up a triangle, and it's the smallest plane. You can name the plane in 2 different ways. You will have to use the word plane in both the ways. You can either use the 3 points that are given on the plane. Now keep in mind these points have to be non-collinear. What was non-collinear? Non-collinear is that the points cannot be on the same line. They have to be on different lines or not on the line at all. So the word plane and JKL, or you can use the word plane and the uppercase script letter on the side, just like we had the lowercase script letter for the line. You can use the uppercase script letter for the plane and the word plane. These are two ways you can name the plane. Now let's talk about coplanar points and non-coplanar points. Coplanar points are those which lie on the same plane, just like collinear points, which means that the points have to lie on the same line. Coplanar means points have to be on the same plane. So in our case, on the blue plane, there are 3 points, K, J, and L. Please keep in mind that P is not a point. We don't see a dot in front of P. It's just representing the plane. It's not a point. P is not a point. It's just representing the plane. And then non-coplanar points. Non-coplanar points will be a point which will not be on the plane. So let's bring in a new point, point Z. And this point Z is non-coplanar when we compare it with K, J, and L. Z is not on the same plane, so it's non-coplanar. All these become non-coplanar just because of Z. And you have to have at least 4 points for points to be non-coplanar. Intersecting lines and planes. 2 lines intersect at a point. 2 planes intersect at a line. A plane and a line will intersect at a point. Many students do get confused and they say that 2 planes intersect at a point too. So please remember that 2 planes intersect at a line and 2 lines intersect at a point, and a plane and a line will intersect at a point as well. Let's do a quick recap for point, lines, and plane. For a point, to name it, you need 1 uppercase letter. For a line, you need 2 uppercase letters. Or you can use the lowercase script letter given on the side. The symbol for line is this. And then for a plane, you need 3 uppercase letters. Or you need the uppercase script letter. Let's look at the first question. First question, part A, is asking us to figure out 4 collinear points. Let's go ahead and color code the 3 lines that we have in our figure. So let's make this a blue line. Let's make this one a green line. And let's make that one a yellow line. It's asking for 4 collinear points. Let's look at the green line first. We have point J, point K, and point L. These points are all on the green line. That means they are collinear. However, there are 3. So that's not the answer to my part A. Blue line is the only line which has 4 points on it. I, K, and H, and they are all on blue line. That's why they're collinear. So that's my answer, H, N, K, and I. Please make sure to separate them with a comma and write it with an uppercase letter because you're writing the 4 points. Part B is asking you to figure out the name of the line that contains point M. Point M is on the yellow line. There are 3 uppercase points, or 3 points which are represented by an uppercase letter, M, N, and O. You can use multiple combinations, or you can just use the lowercase letter that's given on the side to name that line. We're gonna stick with a few combinations, and you can try multiple different ways and then come up with different names. So let's use the word line and two letters MN. You can also say MN with a symbol, or you can say line lowercase p or p with a symbol. Now again, you can use multiple combinations of the points that you see on the yellow line. You could have said NO, line NO, line MO, and stuff like that. Let's work on part C. Part C is asking you to figure out the name of the line that has point H and K. Point K is on two lines. Point K is on a green line, and point K is also on the blue line. Blue line is the only one that has point H, so you will have to name the blue line. Now again, you can use multiple different ways to name that line. You can say line HK, you can say HK with a symbol, you can say line the lowercase letter r, or you can say r with a symbol. Again, you could have used many different combinations of uppercase letters that are on that blue line. For example, you could have said line NK, line HI, etc. Part D, you're looking for another name of line Q. So you're basically naming the green line in a different way. You could have simply given this as a different name and that would have been correct. But another way of writing would be line KL or KL with a symbol and many other combinations. Part E is asking for the intersection of lines P and R. So let's erase this first so we can focus on the intersection. Let's make the R line blue and P as yellow. The intersection is basically where they both cross each other, and this is the point where they both cross each other, which is point N. You can use the word point and uppercase N, or you can just use the uppercase N, and that will represent the point. Let's work on question number 2. Question number 2, part A, is asking me to figure out a line containing point F. So let's highlight the line that has point F first. This is a line which has point F. We have to name this line. There are 3 letters, uppercase letters given for the points on the line, D, E, and F, and there is a lowercase letter J which we can use to name the line. We can name the line by using 2 uppercase letters or the lowercase letter J. You can come up with multiple different combination of letters and name the line with 2 uppercase letters. I'm going to stick with a few and then you can come up with your own. So I'm going to use the word line and DE, or I can say DE with the line symbol. I can use the word line, the lowercase j, or J with the line symbol. Again, there are other multiple ways of writing the line. You can come up with other names, and as long as the letters are on the line, it's fine. Part B, another name for line K. Line K is this line right here. There are 3 points on this line, B, E, and C, and the lowercase letter K. We can use multiple combinations to write the name of this line as well. So line BC or line K or K with a line symbol. If you have used other letters and you have named the line differently, that's fine as long as the letters are on the line. A plane containing point A. You have to name a plane that contains point A. The only plane that we have is this one right here. For plane, you have to use 3 non-collinear points. So you can use letter D, E, and A. you cannot use D, E, and F. You have to use A because that's the only one which is non-collinear. So I can say either plane DEF, plane ADF. Or I can say plane and the uppercase script letter in the corner M. There are multiple combinations for naming a plane as well. You could have said EAF. As long as you bring that non-collinear point A with naming the plane, it's fine. Part D, an example of 3 non-collinear points. We already wrote down the 3 points for plane, which are non-collinear, so we can just say it's ADF. I'm separating them with a comma in between them because I'm naming the points now. I'm not naming the plane anymore. Part E, the intersection of a plane M and line K. So I'll erase all this. I'm looking for the intersection. So this is plane M. This is line K. As soon as you see the point from where you start seeing the dotted line, that's the point of intersection of the plane and a line. So point E is the point of intersection. So I can say point E, or I can just say E. Both methods are correct. Question number 3, part A, is asking us to figure out 3 coplanar points. So to understand that question a little bit better, let's go ahead and highlight the planes in a different color. And hopefully the figure makes a little bit more sense than what it looks like right now. So this is the base plane. Now this base plane is also extended and becomes plane R. It's the same plane. If you remember from the definition, planes can be extended in all directions. The second plane is the side of the pyramid. So let's color the side of the pyramid. This is one side. This is the back side of the pyramid. And this is the right side of the pyramid. And the front side, there is a front side too, which is this one. And you have to pick 3 points on either the red plane, the purple plane, the blue plane, or the green plane. So let's figure out the points on any of those planes that we have color coded right now. You can take W, which is on the purple plane. You can take X, which is on the purple plane, and you can take Z, which is on the purple plane. So Z, X, and W. Or you can come up with a different combination. You could have even taken the points which are on the yellow plane at the bottom. You could have said Y, W, and X. That works too. Or you could have taken the points which are in green, V, Y, Z, or Y, X, Z. It takes some time for you to see it. If you don't get it, that's okay. It will come to you. It will take some time and it will come to you. Part B, you're looking for a plane containing point X. We already worked those out in part A, and you can use the word plane and you can say ZXW. That's the plane that contains point X, or you can say plane YWX, or you could have also said plane XYZ, the blue plane in the back that also has side X, or the point X, I'm sorry. Part C, the intersection of plane R and plane ZVY. So let's go ahead and erase that and we'll highlight only 2 of those. Planes R. Plane R is the one that's at the bottom, which is actually the same plane as the base of the pyramid. So plane R is this one, and plane ZVY is this one. We're talking about the intersection of a plane and a plane, which will always be going to a line. So this is the line which kind of meets that plane R or intersects plane R. So you're going to just write that name and you're going to say plane, line VY or VY with a symbol. Part D, you have to count the number of figures or number of planes that appear in the figure. So we already did that for part 1, but let's go ahead and redo it. So this is the first plane. This is also the plane that's the base. This is the second, this right side of the pyramid. This is third, the back side of the pyramid. This is fourth, the left side of the pyramid. And this is 5, the front side of the pyramid. So there are 5 planes in the figure. How many planes contain point W? So let's erase this. This is point W right here. Okay, so for sure the base contains it. And then this one, the front one, contains it. Right? And then this side, the right side, also contains point W. So there are 3 planes that contain point W. For question number 4, part A, you have to figure out the intersection of lines L and M. So let's go ahead and color line L with green and M with purple. We're looking for the intersection of 2 lines. The intersection of 2 lines is always going to be a point where they intersect, and we see it's point E. So you can use the word point and the uppercase letter E, or you can just use the uppercase letter E. Part B is asking you to name plane Q. You can use any 3 letters, uppercase letters, which are on the plane, but they must be non-collinear. So you can use the word plane and FIG, or you can use the word plane and this uppercase letter on the side, Q. Now for this one, you could have used any combination of uppercase letters as long as they're non-collinear. Part C, are points D and E collinear or coplanar? So first let's go ahead and have a look at point D and E. This is point D and this is point E. I look at point D is on plane P, point E is on plane Q, so they're definitely not coplanar, so this is out of question. Now let's look at them being on the same line. So let's go ahead and color that line. This is line L, and yeah, they are on the same line, so they are collinear. Part D, how many times plane P and Q intersect? Now let's look at plane P and Q. Plane Q and P are 2 separate planes. They do not meet at any line. Like if you hold 2 sheets of paper, one in right hand and one in left hand, they're not intersecting. They're parallel. So there is no intersection. There is no intersection going on. So it's 0. Homework for tonight is questions 6 through 10 on ALEKS Unit 1 homework.